There he is. There's the boy. Look at him. Admittedly, we've got Hartnell there. Troughton from the wrong era. The Twee. Oh, and some people we've not met yet.
The Twee?
Yeah, the Twee. Yeah.
Who's the Twee?
Well, let's start with that. A long, long time ago, I can still remember when the Pertwee used to make me grimace.
Yeah.
I did a video called Ode to the Twee when we finished Planet of the Spiders, and I talked about then how I had come to terms with the Twee because, as a long-term viewer of the Whoathon will remember, Twee's my least favourite Doctor, and there are reasons for that. I don't think it's necessarily his fault entirely, but I had a great time watching the Pertwee, and I'd resolved this feeling. So this is my ode to TB. Can't call it ode to the baker because there'll be another one coming along. So this is my ode to TB. And this is the almost exact opposite video. In so much as, if way back when we started watching Robot, pre-pandemic, pre-all that, you had said to me, Peter, who is your favourite Doctor? I would have said Tom Baker. And I've said that for years and years and years, and, never questioned it.
True story.
If you ask me the question now, I will give you a different answer, which is a very strange thing to say. Yes. Now, my wife's looking very shocked at me now, and even the dog has woken up.
It's like when you said that you thought Elvis Costello might be preferable over Bob or something.
No, I didn't. Well, no, but Costello and Bob, I can't. Anyway. So, that is not to say I don't think that Tom Baker's not the best Doctor, necessarily. I think, at his best, Tom Baker is the best Doctor. I think that if you reflect upon his earlier years, the Hinchcliffe years, I just don't think anybody has since, we shall discover together, obviously, but I just don't think anybody since has managed to convey that sense of just intelligence and otherworldliness and I love that sort of bohemian, studenty, don't give a tossness about it. And then I love sometimes when you start an episode and it's like Pyramids of Mars and he's proper grumpy. And then he cheers up a bit because Sarah's there cheering him up. And I love all of that about Tom. I love in like Talons of Weng Chiang where he just comes out dressed like Sherlock Holmes because he's in Victorian London. Oh, I love how bleak it feels in Horror of Fang Rock. I love all that. And then City of Death, oh my God. You get to that and he's just so charismatic and charming and funny and... Yeah. So at his best, Tom's the best Doctor. We shall see if that holds true as we go forward. But I can't say he's my favourite Doctor anymore. And the reason for that is that having now seen every scrap of Tom Baker, with a possible exception to come in a few years' time, in Doctor Who, just some of it is bad. And like bad in a way that is like lazy bad. And Tom occasionally just completely relies on being the Tom Baker show. And sometimes it just pulls away from Doctor Who. And that's a terrible thing to say, but there are moments where you just think, oh, Tom. And the essential problem is he goes on for too long at the role. Now, I used to say I really wanted one of the new Who Doctors to really go for a long time. That'll be amazing, let's do that. I don't think so now. I think Tennant has it right when we get to him. Was it 3 seasons, a few specials and this, that and the other? That seems solid to me. Was it 3 or 4? Can't remember. Anyway. Matt Smith stuck around for a decent amount of time. And I just think after a while, how many new tricks can you play as a Doctor? How many new ways can you address a situation, And I just think there comes a point with Baker where he loved being in the show perhaps more than he loved the show. That's certainly how it comes across. And that's why it's really interesting when you get to the end of the season we've just watched, where I still haven't looked up the number of the season. It's really interesting how, because he gets threatened, because his the Tom Baker shaped space in the middle of the programme kind of gets intruded upon by all the other stuff that's going on. it suddenly gets interesting again, especially these last few stories. And I think in Logopolis, I just think his performance is absolutely brilliant. But even other parts of that as well. Warriors Gate, you know, he does some really good stuff in that. Traken, I mean, that's a really a new take. I like all of that. So it's not to diss Tom, because honestly, Tom is majestic. Tom is one of the most charismatic human beings I have ever had the pleasure of engaging with in any way. Genuinely, just he is able to breathe. The other go-to is The Rock. I mean, how ridiculous is that? But if you have any interest in The Rock as a wrestler, actually, by the way, not as an actor, he's a good actor, a decent actor. But The Rock as a wrestler, it's just, you watch back in the year 2000 when he was in the middle of the ring and with all his catchphrase, he just had to do nothing and people would go ape for it. Well, the same is, in a weird way, is true of Tom Baker. And when he brought that power to the programme soars. But I'm sorry if I'm boring you, live audience.
Sorry.
But no, not my doctor. I've come to realise he's not my doctor. We shall get to my doctor in the fullness of time.
So you're not telling us who's your doctor?
No, you should be able to work it out. So anyway, onwards and upwards. I am intrigued to see what happens next. In so much as, and spoilers, my relationship with Davison has always been a resolutely positive one, because my oldest friend, Paul, Davison's always been his favourite doctor. And there are moments to come that I know are just absolutely mind-blowing. I've seen most Davison, not all, but going through it bit by bit is going to be a very interesting prospect. I think Libby's very much taken with Tegan.
I love Tegan. She's my absolute favourite.
We've got our issues with Adric. And Nissa, where are we at with Nissa?
Nissa, I just feel so much tragedy with regards to Nissa.
Yeah.
She's very alone.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel very sad. She's not done a great deal yet.
No, she's not had time, has she?
She's got time.
So we shall see how this plays out. But I am desperately hoping that this sort of, we can rocket away from Logopolis into something new and bright and fantastic. We shall see. And of course, we shall do an ode to PD far quicker than we've done this one, because my gosh, 7 years and a pandemic in between. Anyway, there we are. Right, see you next time. Bye-bye.